Well, this is where Hanley has to be very selective. He knows he's going to get a fastball. Got to make it be out over the plate, something he can get some nice extension on.
Hanley, left field. That ball's deep. That ball's gone. Way gone. 3-run shot. 5-2 fetch.
I'll say that was selected by Hanley Ramirez.
Hanley's homer gave the Fish the win last night. Tonight, they go for 3 in a row. Downtown Miami tonight, Marlins Park. As the Marlins and the Cubs get ready for Game 2, the Marlins behind that long home run by Hanley Ramirez. Getting Game 1, there's your live shot. Roof open, panels closed. We're all dressed up with someplace to go tonight. Hi everybody, Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hunt. It was said, Tommy, at the start of the season, the Marlins will go as far as Josh Johnson and Hanley Ramirez take them. Well, Josh Johnson started last night. He was outstanding in his 7 innings. And, of course, Hanley Ramirez was the hitting hero.
Yeah, Rich, Hanley's been pretty outstanding over the last few games. He was a big hero last night. You just go back the last 3 games. Hanley has 8 hits, a couple of home runs, and 7 RBIs. More importantly, he has gotten key base hits. He got the walk-off home run against David Carpenter, walk-off base hit. He got the big home run last night against Rafael Dolis. So the key for Hanley, not only is he swinging the bat well, he's swinging the bat well in key situations. Good to see. You mentioned JJ. Josh Johnson was on the top of his game last night, too.
Pitching matchup in this one, a real contrast in a lot of areas. Lefty, righty, tempo. Matt Garza going for the Cubs. He's off to a great start. Mark Burley's pitched well, but has nothing to show for it.
Garza, a hard thrower. He can reach 95. Burley, a soft tosser. Likes to change speeds and keep hitters off balance. Garza with the slow pace. Not a good fielder. Burley works quickly, is a Gold Glover. So a lot of contrast in this matchup tonight.
So it's the Marlins and it's the Cubs. And to get us started out in center field, Jeff Conine, Craig Minervini. Gentlemen?
All right, thank you very much, guys. A terrific homestand here for the Marlins. They came off a rough road trip, lost the manager for 5 games, part of that, and over, obviously into the homestand. But the ball club got Ozzie back yesterday. Good feelings. They played very good. They've won 3 out of 4.
Yeah, they did play very well, and unfortunately, the blown save on Saturday night against the Astros could have been a perfect homestand so far. But we've seen the home run sculpture go off a few times. We've seen Hanley have a great series, have Omar Infantes have this undescribable power surge.
Yeah.
Some good things happening so far with this ball club.
Omar out of the lineup maybe for as many as 2 games tonight. He's had a little bit of a sore groin issue. And tomorrow, Ozzie did tell us available to pinch hit. He was involved in a play that had nothing to do with the injury, but did create, Hanley Ramirez literally fell down today laughing about the play when they recreated what happened. So what happened to Ozzie, to Omar here?
Well, I think he was trying to play the old Jedi mind trick on the umpire and see if he didn't see him hit third base. He's thinking there's 2 outs, so he's jogging around and realizes after he's looking at his third base coach going crazy, telling him to get back to second base. He's like, get back, get back, get back. And then it was too late. He tried to cut across the diamond, and that's a no-no in baseball.
Safe at second.
But you cannot do that.
It really something you see really a T-ball. That's like,
Once you go past the bag and you touch it, you have to touch it again on the way back to first base.
Yeah.
And he neglected to do that.
Omar probably knew because he was so far out. If he did that, he would have been out by 20 feet. Maybe close enough, nobody noticed it, but unfortunately for him and the Marlins. But I will tell you, I saw the guys. Did you see them laughing? I mean, Joey Cora went out and impersonated the play, and Bonifacio, Hanley fell down laughing. Reyes, they all had a good laugh at it. And then Fonte took a chuckle at it and then said, okay.
That's one of the comical things you can have fun with after a W.
Nice. All right. We got baseball coming up. Game 2 of this series We got an afternoon game, 12:40 tomorrow. Right now, the business, try to lock in a series win. The Marlins can do that with a win tonight. Mark Burley against Matt Garza coming up with Rich and Tommy right after this.
Marlins Park, Marlins, Cubs, game 2 of the series. First pitch after this. As you can see, the windows are closed, the roof open. Mark Burley ready to go to work against the Cubs. Cubs and Marlins, game 2 of a 3-game series. And there's a look at Burley. Tommy, as you pointed out, he's got experience against the Cubs. That crosstown interleague series between the White Sox and the Cubs yielded 13 starts.
Yeah, six matchups the Cubs and White Sox play every year. And in those 13 starts, 5-4 with an ERA just a little over 4 in his outings against the Cubs.
Pinch a Penny brings you the first pitch. It's Burley to Reed Johnson, who hammers left-handed pitching, and he hammers Mark Burley. Johnson, the start to his season, he is a career .311 hitter against lefties, and against Burley, .367. Takes a changeup outside. That's in 30 career at-bats.
You know, you get certain guys, and Reed Johnson, as you pointed out, is one of them. Right-handed batters that just tear up lefties, and they're those numbers that you were talking about. He's been okay against right-handers. He's a solid player.
Off-speed pitch, Reyes stretches, plants, throws. Nicely done. 6-3 in the books. And there's an out. Here come the Cubs. The Cubs have stumbled out of the gates at 3-8. Darwin Barney is coming up now. Starlin Castro, the young star shortstop, hits third. Alfonso Soriano is in left field. Jeff Baker is at first base. Ian Stewart at third. We see Giovanni Soto behind the plate. He has struggled out of the gates, and so has Marlon Byrd in center with Matt Garza in the 9 spot. Burley to Barney. And Barney, I think, breaks the end of his bat. That little dribbler down the first baseline, and is headed to get new lumber.
It's one of those nights, and I think you saw it right off the bat with the play that Reyes made. When you're an infielder behind Mark Burley, you're ready. You're on your toes. You know he works fast. You know you're going to get some action.
See, if we were doing a basketball game right now, I would turn to you, Tommy, and say, what's the pace going to be like? And you would say, well, Burley is push it up the floor, and Garza is slow and deliberate. Will use the entire shot clock. Because that's kind of the tail of the clock on this one. Up the middle. Murphy on one knee. Got him! Donnie Murphy with a face plant dive against the Astros in the start that he made. This one he didn't have to go face first, but it was a nice play.
Well, we've had 2 sharply hit ground balls. We've had 2 really nice plays, one by Reyes, that one by Donnie Murphy, and just like that, a couple of outs. Well done. Good concentration by Murph.
So Burley now to Starlin Castro. And Castro takes outside. Castro last night was 2 for 4. Couple of hits. His 7th stolen base of the season. He has yet to be thrown out trying to steal. Castro fouls it back to the screen. One of the bright lights for what, in all likelihood, is a rebuilding year for the Cubs. New manager, new president, new general manager. Dale Swaim is the new skipper.
Boy, you hear so many good things about the way Swaim has taken over this job, the way he ran camp, spring training.
Burley trying to get the corner, and it's 3-1. Theo Epstein is the new president. Jed Hoyer, who worked with Epstein in Boston and then was the GM in San Diego, is the new general manager. To center, Bonifacio makes the catch. Just like that, Mark Burley goes 1-2-3. Marlins coming up. Visit the new Marlins team store. Fish at 5 and 6. Jose Reyes was presented with his Silver Slugger for the start of play tonight. Emilio Bonifacio, Hanley Ramirez, Logan Morrison, Giancarlo Stanton, Gabby Sanchez, John Buck will do the catching. Donnie Murphy, Omar Infante getting the night off and possibly tomorrow off. That tightness in his groin is still an issue, and Burley is in the 9 spot.
Well, we've talked a little bit about the 28-year-old Matt Garza. Has spent some time. He was originally drafted by the Twins in the first round back in '05 out of Fresno State. Nice baseball school in California, and went to Tampa Bay. He's been with the Cubs now. This is his second year. Very deliberate on the mound, has excellent stuff, and at times can let the anger take over on a bad play behind him, on a bad pitch by him, or a bad call by an umpire. And that's one of the reasons. There are a few reasons that he's a guy that's just a game under 500 with the kind of stuff he has.
He didn't help himself last year. He made 7 errors last year, and his bullpen didn't help him either. His bullpen blew 7 of his leads in a season in which he went 10 and 10 with a very nifty 3.32 ERA. So Reyes leads it off. And he takes the strike. Reyes was presented with a silver bat. It was actually for the batting title, not for the Silver Slugger. He won the Silver Slugger back in 2006, but of course the batting champ last season. A breaking ball. Reyes pulls into right field. That's a base hit. Johnson up with it. Reyes is aboard. You win a batting title, you get a silver bat.
Well, he won that batting title hitting .337 last year, 181 hits. Of course, on the left side of the infield, Hanley Ramirez, also a batting title a few years ago. Hanley back in '09.
Here is Bonifacio, lost in the heroics last night. The Hanley Ramirez home run, the Josh Johnson start, the Heath Bell save, even the Steve Cishek hold. The fact that Bonifacio was just terrific. He was 2 for 2 with 2 walks, and he had 2 more stolen bases. See, he opens play at 341. His on-base percentage is .449.
The other thing, Rich kind of lost in things last night. It was a total team effort. A couple of terrific throws from John Buck in nailing runners.
See that on-base percentage. Bonifacio last year finished 2nd in on-base percentage among leadoff hitters. Reyes was 1st at 384. Bonifacio was at 360. That one in on the hands. We'll see if the Marlins are able to take advantage of Matt Garza. For a guy, as you stated, that has no-hit type stuff, you sometimes have to create your own runs.
Well, he has thrown a no-hitter. He did so in 2010. Threw a one-hitter when he was with the Rays against the Marlins.
Bonifacio takes, and it's 1-2.
This is a guy, Rich, whose name you hear all the time, and I wouldn't be surprised at the trading deadline you hear the name Matt Garza thrown around. Cubs probably won't be in the hunt, and there'll be teams that'll want an arm like Garza's.
He has another year of arbitration. He's making $9.5 million this year with the Cubs.
And he knows what postseason's all about. In '08, he was the American League Championship MVP. Won 2 games against the Red Sox and pitched extremely well in those 2 games.
Garza steps off. He made 5 postseason starts with the Rays. Of course, last year the Cubs didn't sniff the postseason. They were 20 games under at 71 and 91. 2-2. Bouncer up the middle. Castro to the bag, and that's how you double up Emilio Bonifacio. You draw the shortstop to the bag, you don't have an exchange, and you get a strong arm throw.
About the only way you're going to double up Bonifacio. Check on that defense of the Cubs tonight. Soriano, Marlon Byrd, Reed Johnson. A few changes with the lefty on the mound, Burley. Ian Stewart's in there, Castro, Darwin Barney, Jeff Baker starting at first base, and the former Rookie of the Year, Giovanni Soto, handles Matt Garza.
Hanley Ramirez, 1 for 3 last night, and of course coming off a big series against the Astros. So 8 for his last 12 with 7 RBIs, a couple of homers, and both of those homers have been long distance shots. We're going to have to look up on hittrackeronline.com to get the distance, although there are home run distances around this park in a variety of spots. You see the homestand that Hanley has right now. One homer, of course, went above the wall in center field. There's 447. That straightaway left on the glass. 427 right in front of Budweiser. Hanley's homer hit kind of between the 2 right flagpoles up on that walkway. (3-0).
Yeah, somewhere kind of in this area is where Hanley peppered that wall. I mean, he hit that wall hard, too.
Garza's been careful. 3-0 pitch coming. Outside corner. This was a 3-1 pitch he got last night.
Yeah, he was sitting on that fastball. There it was, right in that area. Got the fastball from the youngster Dolis and just smashed it.
See, if that's 386 in that corner and that ball's up, what, 20, 25 feet up, and it's further back, that's about a 415 shot.
Yeah, 410, 415. That time he didn't get the 3-1 fastball.
No.
Got the 3-1 slider from Garza. Garza's been around the block a couple of times.
And his 2 starts this year have been very, very good. His last time out, he came within an out of a 3-hit shutout of the Brewers. Down goes Hanley, another slider from Garza. So Matt Garza is on tonight. Mark Burley worked quickly through the first, and we're headed to the second with the Fish and the Cubs scoreless. In high definition, brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Into the Coventry Healthcare second. Mark Burley seemingly was on the mound and ready to pitch as we went to break. And the Cubs were still leaving the field. Burley gets out there quickly. and works quickly. That's certainly one of his calling cards. He throws a strike to Soriano with Baker and Ian Stewart behind him.
Burley just needs support. In the first loss against the Reds in Cincinnati, the Marlins were beaten 4-0, so he didn't get any offense in that game. And in his next loss, he lost 3-1 in Philadelphia.
The two games were quick. In fact, the average through the two starts is 2 hours and 32 minutes for time of game for the Burley starts, and that's not uncommon. Last year, 2:44 through all of his starts, and that's with the DH obviously in Chicago. In 2010, 2:39. The Major League average this year has been an even 3 hours. So Burley's about a half an hour before that.
That would probably go down about 30 minutes if you eliminated Red Sox Yankees.
Soriano swings and misses Burley with a good off-speed pitch.
Yeah, this is what he does so well. Even though he liked that pitch down a little bit, it had a little downward movement, the changeup. And because of that, fooled Soriano.
Average time of game in baseball last year through the whole season was 2:57. Here's Jeff Baker. Baker getting the start against the lefty. Now 30. Former Rocky. Was part of that Rocky World Series team in 2007. And a great college player, a Clemson Tiger.
Yeah, he broke a home run record at Clemson of one of our favorites, Matthew LeCroy.
Hits that one into left field, a base hit. Bill Baker has the first hit for the Cubs, and up comes Ian Stewart. For information about driving to and from Marlins Park, as well as parking diagrams, public transportation options, we've been telling you, marlins.com/parking. View neighborhood and city maps, see traffic flow patterns, and find out everything you need to know about commuting to Marlins Park. Marlins baseball, we've got you covered. Stewart now. He goes after the first pitch and pops it up. And Gabby Sanchez is there, and he makes the catch. Tommy, that's one of the things we've heard from fans who are season ticket holders who have been to 2 or 3 different games. They have said after the second or the third time down to the ballpark, they have a better idea of what to expect. Shortcuts, where to go, where the parking is, where it isn't.
Yeah, and from what we've heard in talking to fans, it really hasn't been a problem. It's kind of a trial and error. You try this place one time, the next game you try another spot. You feel what's comfortable, what gets you in and out quickly, and everything seems to be working well.
Burley misses up to Giovanni Soto. Cubs have some bats that have yet to get going, and Soto is one of those. He's just 4 for 29. And behind him, Marlon Byrd is just 2 for 34. Changeup from Burley. It's an interesting year for Soto, who had such a great start to his career. He was not only the Rookie of the Year, but also an All-Star in 2008. But you see what's happened since. He bounced back in 2010.
He's thinking this is an even year. Should be a year that he has a better year, which he had in 08 and 10, and this being 2012.
This is his 5th full year with the Cubs. You know, the odd thing about him winning the Rookie of the Year in 2008 is that he actually played in the big leagues in 06 and 07, but not enough games to lose his rookie status. And Burley carves him up pretty easily.
Oh, that's a nice carve job, too.
Pair of strikeouts for Mark Burley. We sail to the bottom of the second. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Miami Marlins, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. Spider-Man cap at the park. Matt Garza back on the mound. He was impressive in the first in striking out HANLEY Ramirez after he fell behind him 3-0. So he gets Logan Morrison, Giancarlo Stanton, and Gabby Sanchez.
Yeah, you see the deliberateness. He kicks around the mound, his head's down. All right, now he's ready to go. Kind of reminds you of the former Cubs Steve Traxel.
That's a good call.
But he has a live arm. You'll see that fastball 93 to 95. See some sliders, curveball, he'll throw a changeup.
I know they're from different eras, but if he faced Mike Hargrove, the at-bat would take 10 minutes. Nomar Garcia Parra, a modern-day Hargrove with all the Velcro adjustments.
What they call Hargrove, the human rain delay.
Look at that location. And that's the stuff that has resulted in that very small career ERA and a 3.32 ERA last year. This is outside to Morrison.
Won 15 games in 2010. Take a look at the scouting report on Matt Garza. Scouting report brought to you by Coventry Healthcare. Under 500 question marks. That one I can't figure out. There are some reasons. Uses all 4 pitches, and I think we've seen that sink to the heavy to mid-90s fastball. The best term in describing Garza, and it's really interesting when you look into a guy's career, you see him every 5th day, as to why he is a game under 500 with an ERA in the 3s. But the other parts of the game is fielding, the fact that he does take a long time. Just things other than pitching, he just doesn't do that well.
Morrison to center. Bird is there, and he makes the catch. And here comes Giancarlo Stanton. A nice night for Stanton last night for a couple of reasons. The easy one is that he doubled. The tougher one is that he walked just the second time all year.
And he was out early today. See the backside of Cullen McRae, Marlins video coordinator, and taking photos, working with Eduardo Perez. Yeah, he I thought had some really good at-bats in the ball game last night. One of them translated into a double. He just missed a ball on a long fly ball back in the 4th inning. So you see the progress, and you know he's working on it.
He's in the 5 spot because Omar Infante is not in the lineup. The tightness in the groin for Infante an issue. Marlins sat him this weekend for a game, and that didn't seem to take care of it. So, unfortunately, one of the hottest bats in the National League is not in the lineup tonight and probably won't be there tomorrow afternoon. It's a 12:40 start. Marlins and Cubs. Stanton with a big rip.
Yeah, Infante hitting .333 with 4 doubles, 4 home runs, a triple. And it's the type of injury that Ozzie talked about today. It's one of those things that could linger for a couple of months if you don't put a stop to it right now and give him some time off and let that thing heal. You don't want him to be bothered with that groin for a couple of months.
Ozzie Guillen and Joey Cora together, of course, in Chicago for a world championship, together as teammates in Chicago. Cora's 4-year stay before he went on to Seattle. Here's the 2-2. Right on the corner. Boy, Garza dotting the black and has struck out 2 now.
Yeah, here comes a fastball, and you can't make a more perfect pitch.
And the edge of the baseball on Fox tracks runs up against the line. That would be the black.
The other thing about Garza, over the last 4 years, he's been pretty durable.
Gabby goes after the first pitch, drives it into right center. Converging is Bird and Johnson. And it's Marlon Bird, not the rally Bird, out there in right center, who makes the catch.
Third, Heath Bell gets his first save. One of the big helps for him, his wife Nicole, who sent him a Facebook message.
Wife wrote me a long, letter and this and that. It was good inspirational stuff that I kind of forget about sometimes because, occasionally you like as a for a hitter, sometimes see ball, hit ball, so sometimes you forget about the little things.
So it was on Facebook too.
Well, she threw it on Facebook instead of texting me, and because she's a big Facebook girl, and I'm
but it was
not.
A personal message, right?
Yeah, she sent me a message. It wasn't on for everybody to see.
And basically, guys, inspirational. Even going back to all the things we went through, and when you started your career, we didn't have this, and you fought your way through, and just that inspiration, especially because his wife with the 4 kids is back in San Diego, not there when Heath returns home on the home games. Just that little message helped him out a lot, he said last night. Take it away.
Yeah, Craig, and he certainly looked terrific last night, Tommy.
He did.
The location was there, and that was one of the biggest issues that he and Randy St. Clair were trying to iron out. And with the location came added velocity. That's as hard as we've seen him throw, I think, including spring training.
Well, when you save over 40 games 3 consecutive years, you're going to put it together.
Well, Burley's got it working tonight as well. He has punched out 3 as he gets Marlon Bird on a nasty cutter.
We actually saw Heath Bell's wife and family in Philadelphia. We may have to get Nicole on Twitter and email Tuesday.
That's a good point. Are there any loose ends that we haven't tied up from email or Twitter Tuesday last night?
We wanted to get the answer about the uniforms. We had a couple of emails, a lot of tweets on who chooses the uniform. It's kind of a company thing, an organizational choice, but there are some parameters. At home, you're always going to see white. On Friday nights, you'll probably see the black top. On day games, you'll probably see orange. But for the most part, it's kind of thought about before by the organization.
I thought we were bad with our wardrobe.
You and I are texting all the time.
With us, it's like wear a tie or wear a Tommy Bahama shirt.
Yeah, what are we packing? What are we going to take on this trip?
Here's the 0-2 pitch. And Garza goes down swinging. Buck steps out and throws him out. Burley with 4 strikeouts, first time through the Cubs order. It's back to the top of the order, and Reed Johnson.
I know you and I have to check the weather, especially early in the season. Do we need jackets? Do we need the ties?
Say it.
Can we go with the
Say
Tommy
it.
Bahama?
No, say it.
Or do I bring a sweater vest?
Thank you. Here is Reed Johnson hitting leadoff. A game like last night, which moved quickly. Josh Johnson, 7 innings. Dempster was outstanding as well. We didn't get to as many tweets and emails as we wanted to. There were a lot of questions about the Showtime series, the franchise. And online, there is a little bit of a taste of the premiere episode. A lot of questions were, have you guys noticed that if the Showtime photographers, audio guys, or that crew has been any sort of distraction? And I got to tell you, you don't notice them much at all.
No, I think they do a terrific job. They do not interfere. They just are there doing their job, and I don't think it's a distraction for anybody.
Burley with the count 3-0. He knows his history.
We're a little upset that they haven't come up here to the booth, but we'll talk to him about that.
Murphy calling for it and goes to a knee and makes the catch. Mark Burley, stopwatch on him tonight. Scoreless. Miami Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida, brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today for great deals on an amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota, moving forward. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Another gorgeous night here in Miami tonight. The roof is open, the windows in left field are closed. There are some winds around Miami, but in the ballpark, nice and comfortable. The Fish and the Cubs are scoreless. Mark Burley has been fantastic. He's worked quickly and effectively. Matt Garza worked around a leadoff single by Jose Reyes in the first, and he gets the bottom third of the order. John Buck, Donnie Murphy, and Burley himself. That would be John Buck.
Nice conversation with John around the batting cage, talking about the work that he put in to get himself ready defensively. Footwork, quicker release, and I think we've seen the benefits on this homestand. But he said it all started when he was up in Toronto with Jose Molina, one of the many catching Molinas who instilled that in him, and then with Marlins catching coordinator Tim Cousins. A lot of hard work. John actually came to spring training early before a lot of the other guys came to get some of that extra work.
Do you think the legacy of the catching Molina brothers will end with their playing days, or will there be a manager among the Molinas?
I don't know if there will be a manager, but I guarantee there'll be some catching instructors.
Or maybe some third-generation Molinas. Remember, their father was a great player. Garza doesn't walk many, and Buck doesn't walk often, so this is an odd count here. 3-0 pitch. It's up, and Buck is aboard a leadoff walk. The next Marlins Super Saturday, the Saturday Spectacular, April 28th. Marlins and Diamondbacks at 7:10. Party starts on the West Plaza at 5 o'clock. Music, entertainment, autograph session. Stay in your seats after the game for a fireworks spectacular. For tickets, 1-877-MARLINS, or go to marlins.com. The Saturday Spectacular.
These are those little situations. It's tough right here at the bottom of the order. But little situations where you can get under the skin, so to speak, of Matt Garza after a 4-pitch walk to John Buck. In Garza's case, he was able to come back with a first pitch strike to Murphy.
Garza's fastball. This is in. The count is 1-1. That's Brian O'Nora behind home plate. Alfonso Marquez at first. Tom Hallion at second. DJ Rayburn at third. And everybody, Marlins, Cubs, umpires, broadcasters, have a very quick turnaround for a 12:40 start tomorrow. And I'm really interested to see tomorrow's game, to feel tomorrow's game, because the afternoon games at Sun Life Stadium were torturous for players, for fans, broadcasters. You would leave that football stadium, your car would be 150 degrees when you got in it. You were drenched already. That ball's hit deep, left field, way back, gone, Donnie Murphy.
Now you get an opportunity. The leadoff walk to Buck. All of a sudden, a couple of mistakes by Garza. He gets a fastball up, and Donnie Murphy lights up the sculpture.
First hit of the 2012 season for Murphy, a home run.
Look at how he brought his hands in on that high fastball to get to it. That's a good swing.
You saw in that Stanton video where he was out early for batting practice with Eduardo Perez, his hitting partner, who was also out there, was Donnie Murphy, getting the start for Omar Infante. A 2-0 Marlin lead. And Burley pops it up. Soto and Stewart, and Stewart makes the catch.
It's a great feeling, Rich, for a player when he's put in that extra time, a little extra work, and gets immediate results, a quick payoff.
It's a great feeling for a manager when you're facing a guy like Garza and you get a walk to a guy like John Buck, and then your number 8 hitter, a replacement, a guy that you put in because of an injury, hits a 2-run homer.
Yeah, you're not so sure what you're going to get from the bottom part of that order. You've got a guy who pitched all of his career in the American League, not a lot of at-bats in Burley. Donnie Murphy doesn't have a lot of at-bats this year.
Everybody's smiling in the dugout right now. 2-0. Marlins on top. Reyes singled in the first. Pulled one through the hole on the right side. And he slaps that one foul and out of play. So, to finish the thought, I'm interested to see how the game feels tomorrow if the roof is closed, if the temperatures are up around 85 or 90. Will we have business people coming from downtown Miami?
Take a little extended lunch.
The traditional business person special. Come on out. And tomorrow is one of those special games, Tommy. The Marlins have a new promotion.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one, too.
There are a limited number, but they are there, both online and at the ballpark, of $10 tickets to the ball game tomorrow. So if you come out, it's day of game sale only. So they'll go on sale tomorrow online and here at Marlins Park. $10 tickets.
I'm trying to think of the 4 major sports. I don't think you can get a $10 ticket. So that's a great deal.
You run a red light, you can get a much larger ticket.
Yeah, you really have to watch out, too. They have those cameras now. And you can get that ticket sent to you like a week later and not even know that you were ticketed. I mean, it could be upwards to $200.
Bonifacio, here's the 1-0. Emilio bounced into a double play. Hit it sharply, but it was up the middle. It brought Castro over to the bag, and that erased the Reyes base hit with 2 outs. Garza misses down low. The Marlins have pushed Garza up to 42 pitches now. Burley has thrown 36 in his 3 innings. There's a strike. 3 years with the Rays, 2008 through 2010 for Garza. And that no-hitter, which was on July 26, 2010, he faced only the minimum, just 27 hitters.
That was against Detroit, too. Pretty good hitting team.
Wow, that's a gorgeous pitch. Can't argue with that one. But Donnie Murphy gives the Marlins a 2-0 lead. Bleepin' Murphy, but you can't say that unless it's a walk-off hit, which he has made a specialty in 2010, 2011.
Well, with the injuries last year, the thumb injury, great to see him get an opportunity and come through the way he did his first AB.
Toyota trend speaks to the time of game. We were talking about Burley and how quickly he has worked in his career. Last season, 244. Darwin Barney, Starlin Castro, Alfonso Soriano, and Barney loops one foul. 2 big defensive miscues last night for the Cubs cost him. One of them was Barney's, and that was a rare letdown for a guy that's very good with the glove, had a solid year defensively last season.
You know, and the other one was Ryan Dempster, and I talked to Demp a little bit today, and he admitted, he said, yeah, it was my fault. I caused it.
Barney leans out, lines it to left. It lands in front of Logan Morrison. And Darwin Barney, who had 3 hits last night, is 1 for 2 in this one. Let's flip the phone, bring on the AT&T trivia question.
Cubs record for games played as a shortstop. Now, Ernie Banks is the first thing that pops
Ernie
in.
Banks, but then remember later in his career he moved over to first base. But
Sean Dunston?
Sean Dunston's a good guess. And I'm going to throw out a name of a guy who certainly didn't have the credentials as an Ernie Banks. Just a solid player, little late 60s, in the 70s. Don Kessinger.
Yeah.
Very steady, solid shortstop.
Yeah. Wow. I think I heard a bell. All right, that's enough. Here's the fastball that misses inside.
Sean Dunston had one of the strongest throwing arms you're ever going to see in a shortstop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then he went on to San Francisco, played a few years with the Giants.
What was the sign that they used to have in the stands? Was it a Shawnometer? Dunston had his own.
Yeah, I think it
fan
was.
Club. 1-2 to Starlin Castro. Well, maybe in 8 or 9 years, the answer to the Toyota trivia question will be Starlin Castro.
He's on his way.
Soft liner into center field. That's a base hit. Barney got a late start. Bonifacio picks it up. And the Cubs are set up first and second, and nobody out. Marlins got 2 on the Donnie Murphy homer.
We talked about this Cubs team. This is a good pitch, too. He gets it on the end of the bat. Because it was hit a little bit on the line, Barney had to hesitate because the Cubs, as a team, and we talked about this last night, very good at going first to third on base hits to the outfield. But Barney had to hold up just for a little bit.
Alfonso Soriano struck out in the second. He's driven in 7 this year. He's not homered, but you know that's coming. He's traditionally been a 25 or more home run guy. Hit 26 last year.
And a guy, Rich, who's seen Mark Burley a lot. A couple of career home runs against Burley. 38 lifetime at bats.
We saw him have just a career year as a Washington National back in 2006.
Remember, everybody said when he was playing in that big ballpark, well, his home run numbers are going to go down. And he's not going to have quite the offensive year that he's been having.
And RFK is, I mean, it's still there, but they don't play baseball there. I think it's just for soccer. It was cavernous. Ball didn't carry much. He had 46.
40-40 man at 41 stolen bases.
Swing and a miss.
That's a big out there.
Burley gets him.
Boy, he's used the off-speed stuff. He's got great arm action with his pitches. That little breaking ball, little cutter, little slider. Yeah, our crack staff even likes to participate in the trivia that we have every night, telling us that Ernie Banks actually played more games as a first baseman than as a shortstop.
Jeff Baker banged a base hit into left field in the second. Cubs have a couple of hits to start the inning. Darwin Barney and Starlin Castro. Alfonso Soriano struck out. Baker fouls it back, and the count's 1 ball and 1 strike. Announced today, actually tweeted today by the highly respected Clark Spencer, that Pudge Rodriguez will announce his retirement Monday in Dallas. Of course, he had the many great years as a Ranger. His 1 season with the Marlins wasn't bad either.
He was pretty instrumental in that World Championship season in 03.
He had 137 plate appearances last year with the Nationals. Hit .218, slugged just .323. Burley's 2-1. Ground ball, Reyes, Murphy, double play. Nicely done. Mark Burley gets a double play. Avoids the 2 base hits to start the inning. 2-0 Fish. Miami Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida, lighting the way to better health. The Cocoa Walk down in Coconut Grove.
What a great area. What a great night to be there, too.
Cubs are actually staying down in Coral Gables. Mark Burley and the Marlins on top 2-0.
Think about Burley. He's going to continue with his game plan until the Cubs hitters show him that they're adjusting to him. And right now he's gave up those 2 hits, but got the nice double play ball. Nice turn by Reyes and Murphy.
Hanley Ramirez. Now, when Hanley was last at the plate, he struck out, but we were guesstimating distances for the 2 home runs that he hit. We, along with the crack staff, quickly went to hittrackeronline.com and checked the true home run distance. They figure how far the ball would have gone had it not run into a wall like the one Hanley hit yesterday. Hanley's home run last night, the true distance 447, 447, 439 for straightaway center. Here's the 0-1. So both of his home runs in that 440 vicinity. He's 1-1 against Matt Garza, Logan Morrison, Giancarlo Stanton. In the bottom of the 4th of a 2-0 game, those are Donnie Murphy's runs up there. His first home run of the season.
You talked about Pudge Rodriguez going to announce his retirement. 14 times an All-Star, an MVP in '99, 13 Gold Gloves, 2,844 hits.
First ballot.
Let's see, 5 years from now, he'll be there.
2-2 to Hanley Ramirez. Garza got him on a slider in the first. Fastball in on his hands. It's popped up. Baker makes the catch. Let's flip the phone and see if Don Kessinger, who brought bells from the TV truck, is the answer. Kessinger, not by much. Joe Tinker. Thank you.
Of the famed Tinker to Evers to Chance.
Dunston and then Banks.
We always like a little applause. That's nice.
It's better than the usual catcalls that we get. Morrison goes after a fastball, flies it to left, and Soriano is there, makes the catch. Speaking of guys that are retiring, or maybe not retiring, how about Jamie Moyer last night, becoming the oldest pitcher in baseball history to win a game. Moyer going 7 innings, giving up just 2 unearned runs. He's made 3 starts this year, and among the starters for the Rockies, he has the lowest ERA. His ERA is 2.55.
Yeah, and he pitched that game, those 7 innings, in Denver against San Diego. 268th career win, I believe, tying him with Jim Palmer.
Yes.
The all-time list.
35th, 36th,
yeah.
Right around there. Stand with 2 outs, 1-0 coming. Wow. That's fun to watch when Garza rears back and guns it at 94, and Stanton is on his heels taking his best rip.
Yeah, maybe not fun for Giancarlo because he really threw that fastball by him, but he's had pretty good location with the exception of the pitch to Donnie Murphy.
And Stanton shoots it through the infield into center field. Two-out single. Gabby Sanchez coming up. Fox Saturday Baseball returns this week. Yankees in Fenway Park take on Adrian Gonzalez and the Red Sox. First series of the season between 2 of sports' most bitter rivals. Fox Saturday Baseball returns this week, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. Saw it today where Terry Francona said that he is going back for the 100th anniversary celebration.
I think that's good. I think the Boston fans will love seeing him there. I think part of it, and in knowing Tito a little bit, having played with Tito, we were teammates back in Montreal, but knowing him, I don't know if he wanted to take away. I know there was some animosity with him in the front office, but I don't know if he wanted to take away anything from Bobby Valentine, who's there now, and having his own issues to deal with.
Fenway Park, the oldest park in baseball. Wrigley Field is second oldest, and that came online in 1914. High fly ball, and that's going to drift into the seats.
At Dodger Stadium, celebrating their 50th anniversary this year.
Next year will be Wrigley Field's 100th, and the talk is, and that's one of the, I think, on the field, certainly you want Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer. That's 2 terrific baseball guys. But they were a part of what the Red Sox did off the field with renovating Fenway. And you and I both love Wrigley Field, but it could really use the same type of renovation.
Yeah, I think they have some ideas already.
The same type of love and care and renovation that Fenway Park has experienced over the last 10 years. 1-2. Slow tapper, third base line. Stewart, and I think that's going to be a base hit. He tried to barehand it because Gabby was down the line. That's a do-or-die play, and he didn't make it on the barehand.
I think it's actually a play he probably could have tried to glove. It was going a little too hard to barehand. By barehanding and giving it that attempt, I would say Gabby will get the infield base hit. But usually you see a barehand effort on a ball not hit that hard.
Brings up John Buck, and it's a base hit. So an infield hit for Gabby Sanchez. A pair of 2-out hits. Stanton, Sanchez, and now here is Buck. He walked in the third. A mighty rip at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And that was a big at-bat because Donnie Murphy would then hit a ball off the facing of the second level just over the Marlins bullpen. for his first home run of the season. That's how we've arrived at 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, I mentioned at the very onset, Matt Garza out of Fresno State. Pretty good baseball school, isn't it?
Very good baseball school. Ask your brother-in-law about that.
My brother-in-law, Dick Ruthven. A lot of good pitchers have come out of there. Paul Wilson, who was with the Mets. And I'm going to miss a number of them, but a lot of pitchers have come out of there. Casey McGee, a Fresno State guy. Casey with the Pirates this year, formerly of the Brewers.
Two-one coming to Buck. Breaking ball, and it spins wide, and it's 3-1. Of course, you've got Donnie Murphy on deck. Dan Gladden, Terry Pendleton, Mark Gardner, Tom Goodwin. Some of the guys that have come out of Fresno State. Garza misses. And here comes Murphy. The bags are loaded. It's time now for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And this was Donnie Murphy's first at bat of the night.
High fastball, middle in. Shortened up the swing and got it into those seats in left field.
Today's Cold Hard Blast brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Murphy has surprising power for a guy of his stature.
By the way, this little rally all coming after the first two batters were retired. Back-to-back singles by Stanton and Sanchez, and the walk to Buck.
Breaking ball, a strike. Now we can't go past the Fresno State without mentioning Jason Wood, one of our favorite guys who went to Fresno State. Jeff Weaver, a Fresno State.
Oh, yeah.
And Doug Fister,
another one of our favorites.
Bulldog. 0-1.
Dan Gladden now does the radio with John Gordon, Minnesota Twins. Got a nice career.
Bases filled with fish. Stanton, Gabby Sanchez, John Buck at first. 1-1 to Murphy. Outfield straight up.
Now the way Murph hit that fastball, all of a sudden Garza has featured some good breaking pitches to him to get ahead 1-2.
Let's see what he gets here. Yeah, breaking ball. Murphy went around. So Garza pitches out of a bases loaded 2-out situation. And the Fish head to the 5th, up 2-0.
Subway fifth inning here at beautiful Marlins Park. The Fish leading 2-0 as we go to the top of the fifth. Every Wednesday, Greg Dobbs and many of the Marlins are going to be bringing in groups for Dobbs. It's the Little Daubers. Take a look at that shirt. Little Daubers here from the Miami Boys and Girls Club. 10 allowed to come in here. You got your great tickets. You got to meet him before the game. This is Hippo Rodriguez, one of the directors.
Yes, we're here because Greg Dobbs decided to give 8 kids the opportunity to come to one of the Miami Marlins games today, and he did a great job. He gave us great seats, gave 8 very low-income kids the opportunity to come here when these kids really regularly couldn't come. Luckily for them, they got to come here because of his generosity.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time with you guys. How was enjoying batting practice on the field, Ignacio? And you got to meet Greg Dobbs. What did he tell you?
It was amazing. He told us if we enjoyed the batting practice, we found it amazing. I saw Gabby Sanchez hit 3 homers right over there by left field. It was amazing.
How do you like the park?
It's very creative. The whole flamingo dancing thing I just find it amusing.
Nice to see it moving. Good to have your group out here. Greg Dobbs, quite a guy. I know he enjoyed bringing your group out.
Very much. You know what? He took a picture of every kid, showed great patience, shook every kid's hand, signed every shirt. Just a gentleman, a great individual. We really enjoyed the time with him down there, in the infield.
All right, well, nice to have you guys out here. And not only is this group wearing these shirts, but Greg got shirts for the entire team, and they just arrived at the clubhouse. So you'll see the players with these on too before the games. Little Daubers out here on Wednesday nights. Guys, back upstairs to you.
That's great, and I know you and I both feel the same way about Greg Dobbs, so no surprise there.
A professional hitter and a good guy. Chopped down the third base line. Hanley trying to backhand, bobbles, hurries, throws, and safe at first is Giovanni Soto. A tricky play, and it crawled up Hanley's arm.
And it's a play where he had time with Soto being the runner, but once he bobbled, a little bit too late. Just trying to think what the guys will be doing with all the T-shirts they have. They have the Loviste T-shirts, the Little Dauber T-shirts.
They have the new weightlifting T-shirts. It's a barbell with the 305 area code on it.
Mm-hmm. Saw Hanley in that one all spring.
Now Marlon Byrd.
I had to check. I thought it was his Pitbull T-shirt, 305.
Bonifacio scoops it up. And so the error by Hanley Ramirez has opened the door. The good news for Mark Burley is that Matt Garza is up now, but he still may have to face Reed Johnson, who's been a nemesis to him throughout his career. For Marlon Byrd, that's just his 3rd hit, and that snaps an 0 for 12 skid. I mean, 3rd hit all year. He's now 3 for 36. Now Garza.
Garza will probably be trying to drop down a bunt. Not much of a hitter, just 6 for 82 in his career.
You see how far up he is in the batter's box. The theory for some bunters is to move up in the box.
That's because if you get the ball down, it'll be fair. Yeah, a little better chance to keep the ball fair. And you're more likely to do it against a guy like Mark Burley than against somebody throwing 95 miles an hour.
Squares, and Burley's breaking ball misses outside. 1-2. 2-0 Fish. Cubs have had base runners. A double play ball after a couple of singles opened the 4th helped Burley out. Now he's gone 2-2 on Garza.
Hey, by the way, Rich, we're going to see some nice matchups, pitching matchups in the nation's capital, and one of them will be on Sunday. Gio Gonzalez has been tremendous at Nationals Park.
There's the bunt. It's a good one. Burley's a great fielder. Hanley there, and Garza gets to first. Hanley actually had thoughts of going across the diamond and trying to get 2. But that's how good a fielder Mark Burley is. That was a routine play. Time for the Just for Men Auto Stop foolproof stat of the night. Starlin Castro, since his Major League debut back in 2010, 362 hits. Only 3 other players have as many. Michael Young, Adrian Gonzalez, Ichiro. You can count on Just for Men Auto Stop foolproof for results.
Yeah, and Castro, the youngster of that group, of course, Young and Adrian Gonzalez and Ichiro, veterans. Yeah, Gio Gonzalez has had 2 starts at Nationals Park. Each start, he's gone 7 shutout innings and given up a couple of hits. So the kid out of Hialeah High School, Monsignor Pace, will go up against JJ in that finale in D.C.
And I think this road trip is a perfect illustration of how tough the East is going to be this year, because the Marlins go through D.C. The Nationals have played real well. You see Strasburg.
See him on Saturday.
And Gio Gonzalez. Heck, Ross Detweiler's ERA is under 1. And then it's on to see the Mets for 3. The Mets have surprised a lot of people. Here's the 1-1.
Dylan G's been throwing well. John Neese.
The Braves fell flat on their face in the first week, have gotten back up, and are playing great baseball now. They hammered the Mets today.
14-6. And Mike Pelfrey has thrown the ball better this year.
On the ground, Murphy gobbles it up, fires to first, and Burley pitches around a couple more base runners to the bottom of the 5th. It's 2-0. Marlins first Coors Light Marlins watch party of the season is Friday the 20th at the Clevelander on South Beach. Marlins at Nationals at 7:05. Win prizes, meet Billy, the Energy Team. Enjoy live music and entertainment as only the Clevelander can bring you. Marlins baseball, we've got you covered. There's the Clevelander out there in left field. That looks like a fine place to watch a game and enjoy the night. And we are efforting to get our fantasy auction location. Our fantasy auction this year is going to be in August, so we've got a ways to go before it's all planned and mapped out. But in August, Tommy, we're hopeful that we'll be out there in the Clevelander.
I know we're working on that right now. I like the different, we've talked about different things at the ballpark. Right here, you got Mark Burley. You're a fan. You're sitting in your seat. You want to know how many pitches he's thrown or how many strikes. So the Burley line is there. If you go over down the right field line above the visiting bullpen, you'll see the line of the visiting pitcher as well as up on the gigantic scoreboard. So yeah, you're a fan. You can sit and you can find all that stuff. It's kind of fun to follow the game that way.
And I really like the scoreboard in right center. There it is.
See, up here you got
all
it on the big scoreboard.
Look at all the information. You've got the lineup. You've got what they're hitting. You've got the pitchers. Career numbers as a starter for Garza. You've got the box score, the in-game box score. You see what Burley has done. Burley leads it off. Garza will then get Jose Reyes and Emilio Bonifacio. A 2-run homer by Donnie Murphy in the 3rd inning has held up. 5 innings of shutout ball by Mark Burley. Matt Garza threw 8 2/3 innings of shutout ball his last time out against Milwaukee.
He had 9 strikeouts, gave up just 3 hits.
Burley takes down low. Tommy, we wanted to pass along our condolences to the family of Eileen Delaney. She passed away this weekend at 76. She was an amazing lady and a big part of the Marlins Community Foundation, the Community Outreach Department.
Tremendous amount of volunteer work.
Yep. Involved in the Marlins fan club board for many years, along with Sandy Donor. They responded to all the fan mail. Outside corner, she was a teacher, always maintained a passion for kids, volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club in Davie, and she touched hundreds of lives within the Marlins family and throughout the South Florida community. 3-2 at the knees. Burley was going to throw the bat one way or the other. He was either going to go to first or head back to the dugout. And he's headed back to the dugout as Garza has a strikeout.
I think Burley may have thought it was a little low, but I think it was a strike. Yeah, he'll realize that, and he'll want that pitch himself.
6 strikeouts now for Garza. Half of them have been looking. Reyes has singled, and he went down swinging.
Reyes looking at video today. Different placement of his hands.
Drives that ball to center. Bird starts back, now comes in and makes the catch.
That's amazing. You look and see how you were last year when you won the batting title, and it might be very subtle, but you see a little change in how you were holding your hands.
And it's amazing when you talk to pitchers when it comes to windup. We talked last night about Josh Johnson,
who didn't even know he was
didn't even know that he had eliminated the ball tap in his glove, which is a timing and a loading mechanism that he's always used. He didn't do it his first 2 starts. Randy St. Clair spotted it, asked him why he stopped, and JJ said, I didn't know I did stop. Bonifacio, gorgeous bunt, another base hit. Man, is he having a terrific season. Nothing seems to have changed for Bonifacio from second half to the start of this year.
That's pretty much it. Just put it in your pocket if you're a third baseman. Stewart tried to make a play but had no chance because that was a perfect bunt by Bonifacio.
And you would think that with 2 outs, he might be scooting here. Base stealers were 10 of 15 last year against Garza. Not a lot of stolen bases. Garza, we saw Ryan Dempster with the overt waggle of the glove in the windup. Garza kind of ripples the glove a bit when he's in the stretch. He can get away with that as long as he does it consistently.
He couldn't do it to deceive the runner.
1-0 to Hanley. Hanley has struck out and popped out. Bonifacio not running. Fastball. Hanley on it. Fouled it straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bonifacio with his 7 stolen bases has not been caught. Starlin Castro with 7 stolen bases. He's not been caught. So 2 of the top base stealers in the National League in this series.
Well, it's fun early on to kind of look at some of the numbers around the league. You had 2 of the top run producers with the Dodgers. Andre Ethier has 17 RBIs. Matt Kemp has 16.
Another Dodger, D. Gordon, is tied with both Castro and Bonifacio for the National League lead at 7.
They get a combination. That's why they've gotten off to a hot start. The Dodgers. Kemp hitting .465.
Do you think the sale of that ball club that is having that big of an impact, or is this just a team that's off to a hot start? Hanley, left center. That ball is gone. Stay hot, Hanley.
Wow, when Hanley's been hitting him, these 3 home runs that we've seen in this ballpark, they've been no doubters. That time Garza tried to flip the breaking ball. Hanley stayed back on it after having a good swing on a fastball the pitch before. So the last 4 games, he's hit 3 home runs, has 9 hits, and 9 RBIs. And you're right, Rich. Stay hot, Hanley.
Logan Morrison is 0 for 2, and Garza has given up 2 long balls, 2 2-run homers, Hanley and Donnie Murphy. Big breaking ball, strike. It's 0-2.
We're still waiting too. We saw a couple in exhibition games. We're still waiting to see a home run into the home run porch in right field.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Hanley Ramirez is red hot right now. 4th homer of the season. Last night a 3-run shot. On Sunday a 2-runner and another one tonight. Thought that was a no-doubter. But as it got closer to the wall, it didn't go out as far as I think you and I expected it to. That's why I hesitated to call it out, because in mid-flight, it slowed down a bit.
Yeah, I think he hit it well. I think we were looking at the one he hit to straightaway center, and then the other blast he hit.
Well, those were 440-foot shots.
Yeah, but the whole key to this is the offense is finally giving Mark Burley some runs.
Yeah, Burley, a 3.65 ERA in his first 2 starts. Darwin Barney to left. And Morrison corrals it. 1 out here for Burley. Mark Burley, economical, just 69 pitches as he enters here in the 6th inning.
We've talked about the consistency of the 33-year-old veteran. 11 straight years, 10 or more wins, 200 innings, 30 starts. Boy, nice to have that every 5 days in your rotation.
Marlins last night got 7 innings out of Josh Johnson. He gave up 2 runs, 7 hits. His velocity was back. I believe I saw a 96 on the radar gun. Heath Bell popped 96 on the radar gun.
That had to do wonders and a world of good for JJ as well, to go out and throw the way he did last night.
You want miles per hour, Tommy? I give you Venus Williams.
How many miles per hour on her serve?
Well, I want to say mid 120s, maybe low 120s. I mean, the top men will serve high 130s. It's a good question. Let me text my tennis expert. Here's the 3-1.
Yeah, crack staff in tennis.
I do. Burley spinning, throwing, got him.
The thing that's so great in watching Mark Burley make defensive plays, and it's a lesson for all young pitchers, especially ones who maybe have trouble defensively. He takes his time. He slows the game down. He doesn't try to rush it. He knows who the runner is. He knows he has time. And by doing that, he makes accurate throws. Who's the guy, Philippoussis? He's like 200 miles an hour, isn't he?
Here's the 1-0, and it's fouled back.
That's the extent of my tennis knowledge right there.
Well, you got to go with the local guy, Andy Roddick, who still can bring it. One. Burley misses outside.
Javier Vasquez maybe getting his serve up to 100 miles an hour.
Javi Vasquez, who visited the Marlins, he is in retirement and has taken up tennis. Donnie Murphy calling, catching, and Mark Burley just keeps his head down and keeps getting out. 4-0 Fish. Sixth inning, time now for the Coors Light freeze cam. Freeze it right there. Look at the hands coming through for Donnie Murphy. And on a Matt Garza fastball, Murphy bangs it off the facing of the second level in left field. Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. That's the first two-run homer for the Fish. Hanley Ramirez, the second. Hanley has homered in 3 straight games. Giancarlo Stanton, Gabby Sanchez, John Buck against Garza, who, if you take away those 2 pitches, the one to Hanley and the one to Murphy, he's been downright overpowering. Pumps in a strike.
Yeah, Giancarlo is still looking for his first long ball of the year. The Marlins, a win tonight, too, will get him back to 500.
Series concludes tomorrow. Make your plans to come to the ballpark. I mean, tomorrow, I'm not saying cut school kids, but you folks that are working tomorrow, cut work. School, no. Work, yeah. Come on out. 12:40 start. And the matchup is a fun one. You've got Ricky Nolasco, who is pitching against his former organization, the Cubs, that traded him to the Marlins. And Jeff Samardzija, the former All-American wide receiver at Notre Dame, who is making the transition from bullpen guy to starter for the Cubs. And Samardzija's had 2 nice starts. Ricky is 1-0. Samardzija actually 2-0.
Yeah, Samardzija out of the bullpen all last year, kind of out of necessity, but he had always wanted to be a starter.
Giancarlo Stanton walks. All right, my tennis guy has gotten back to me. A couple of my tennis guys have gotten back to me. Serena Williams tops out at 125. Venus probably a little lower, 115-ish. The top male serve out there, Ivo Karlovic, Dr. Ivo, 156. Andy Roddick at 155.
Wow. You get Andy Roddick up in the booth sometime. Get your connections. Get your tennis connections out there.
He and Marty Fish are baseball guys. I think they went out and took batting practice at the old Shea Stadium when they were up for the U.S. Open once. Garza misses in. Gabby Sanchez has an infield hit and is flied out. Venus here tonight. One and 2. Cubs bullpen is in action. Garza here in the bottom of the 6th has thrown 89 pitches. That's in. You know, Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire, as you look down in the bullpen, Lendy Castillo in the pen. O'Nora on an inside pitch he won't flinch, but he sort of kind of tails off, drops that right shoulder. Almost like you expect him to call it a strike. Breaking ball hooked down the left field line, foul. You got to make that play.
No, that's an easier one. One of the things you watch in Gabby when you see him in his stance, just a little thing that he's trying to do is work on the placement of his hands. Trying to get them about even with the shoulder, right about there. Every once in a while they get a little too low.
Gabby tries that ball to right center field. And Stanton is rumbling towards third. Up with the ball is Bird. Here comes Stanton. He's going to score. That's how big the gap is in right center field. That ball getting to the track. Stanton read it well. And Gabby has himself an RBI double.
If the hands are down a little bit from where he was, he might not get on top of this high fastball. But by bringing the hands up just a little, Eduardo Perez has suggested that to him. He's able to get on top of that pitch, drill it into right center. And you're right, because of the size of the gaps, Giancarlo able to score all the way from first base.
Marlins add to their lead, a 5-0 lead. Dale Swaim is out to the mound. Matt Garza shaking his head, maybe a few words for Brian Onora as he leaves the diamond. Cubs make a pitching change. We'll step aside. 5-0 Fish. A frustrating night for Matt Garza. This was him walking down the dugout. Now watch him stop and get a bat. Now, Tommy, I don't think he's going to hit off the tee.
I don't think that's for tee practice. I think that might be for the demolition team or something. But how about Gabby? All of a sudden, just slowly putting things together on this homestand. Gabby 7 for 19. That's a nice 368 clip.
5-0 Fish. Marlins trying to win their third straight, trying to get to 6-6. Lendy Castillo.
Yeah, youngster 22. They got him in the Rule 5 draft from the Phillies, so they kind of have to keep him on their roster or offer him back to Philadelphia. So a young hard thrower with a slider into the game now.
John Buck has walked twice in this ballgame. Fastball runs away outside. Last night, the Cubs ran into issues when they went to their bullpen. Rafael Dolis got knocked around when he came in for Ryan Dempster. His defense didn't help him much, and neither did the 445-foot homer that Hanley hit. Buck fouls it back. Remember, tomorrow not only is it a 12:40 start, but a limited number of tickets will be made available day of game, both online at marlins.com. There are no phone orders, or at Marlins Park at the ticket office for just $10. So come on out, 12:40. Get a chance to see this gorgeous ballpark.
come on out early and you can tour the park.
Have a great lunch because there's some terrific food choices.
Buck, a high pop-up. Varney calls for it. And comes back onto the infield and makes the catch. We had one of our crack staff had the steak tacos the other day.
Got a thumbs up on the steak tacos at Miami Mex.
Our statistician. Yesterday I had a smoothie down at the Diamond Smoothie right behind home plate. The Kosher Corner.
Burger 305, serving Chicago dogs, I'm told.
Taste of Miami is third base head. And I've been told that the Cuban sandwiches that they make at the Taste of Miami are off the charts.
And you know that's me.
In fact,
so for how about this? A day game, the 12:40 start.
Right.
You throw in a little Cuban coffee, café con leche, and a Cuban sandwich, and I'm good to go.
I've been told that tomorrow we might get some Cuban sandwiches in the booth.
If we keep talking about it, we will.
We better. Castillo spins, and Gabby Sanchez returns to second. Donnie Murphy in the starting lineup. Omar Infante with tightness in his groin. Probably will miss tomorrow's game as well. Hopefully good to go Friday night in D.C.
I think you see how that's going, and then if there's still an issue, you can give him that series off. You have the Monday off in New York before the Marlins open up the series against the Mets on Tuesday night.
Pitch misses down low. There they are. I think that has Rich Itami written all over it for tomorrow.
And I think because you and I are, watch our diet a little bit, I think we could probably split that. It's a pretty good size. We don't want to go crazy.
2-1. Mark Burley is on deck. I wonder if our crack staff can give us the time of half inning for Marlins at the plate and Cubs at the plate in this one, because Burley has worked quickly. Garza a more protracted pace. Andy Castillo steps off. Ground ball into left field. Donnie Murphy has 2 hits. And he's going to take second on the throw that came into the cutoff man. A great heads-up play by Donnie Murphy. Alfonso Soriano hit the cutoff man, but he did so at a leisurely pace.
It's a great illustration for young kids who play this game. Number one, Donnie Murphy's not able to do that if he doesn't hustle out of the box and go hard. Because he's going hard and takes a big turn, as he takes the turn, he sees the throw of Soriano. He's looking all the way. Hard turn, picks up the throw, never hesitates, scoots into second base with ease. Nicely done, Donnie Murphy.
Burley now with the infield in. Burley is just at 78 pitches. And he's taking the at-bat here in the bottom of the 6th with a 5-0 lead. A pair of 2-run homers. Hanley Ramirez is homered for the 3rd straight game. Murphy homered back in the 3rd. And the Gabby Sanchez double was the end of Matt Garza here in the 6th. Burley into right field. That's a base hit. Gabby will score. Murphy will hold. And Mark Burley with an RBI single, 6-0.
Because of all that time in the American League, For Mark Burley, that is just his 6th career hit in about 50 at-bats. 3rd RBI of his career, and he looked like he knew what he was doing. That's a solid swing.
He had a great swing in Philadelphia. He was robbed of a hit, remember, by Freddie Galvis. Reyes now, runners at the corners. To center. Bird circles. Murphy tags. And he will come home. Reyes delivers a sacrifice fly. And the Marlins lead increases 7-0.
Just thinking, Rich, there could be a few Southsiders checking in on the Cubs telecast tonight. Of course, our good friends Len Casper, Bob Brenly doing the Cubs telecast. You know, some Burley fans over on the South Side.
Some Aussie fans.
Checking out, seeing how things are going.
Quite well for Burley, who didn't get much run support at all in his first 2 starts. There are 7 runs on the board here. And Bonifacio checks his swing. Len Casper, one-time television voice of the Marlins, your former partner, and one of the all-around good guys in the game.
And Bob Brentley, former catcher and a former Major League manager of the Diamondbacks.
Man whose fashion sense we follow closely. One ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Bonifacio on base again with the bunt single. Scored a run. He was on base all 4 times last night. Stole a couple of bases.
We had some, I forget, we went in another area and I never got a chance to address your question about the start the Dodgers have gotten off to. You were talking about new ownership. That might have some effect, but more importantly, the effect in their good start, I think, is the fact that their first 10 games were played against the Padres. I believe 7 games against the Padres and 3 games against the Pirates.
Time will tell.
But they're a good ball club, and boy, they can throw Kershaw and Billingsley out there, and Kemp and Ethier.
They may have the best player in the game and the best pitcher in the game right now. And Kershaw and Kemp. Notice I qualified that with May.
May, that's right. San Francisco, we're on the West Coast thing, beat the Phillies last night. Madison Bumgarner with the win.
I believe this is the first wave we've seen at Marlins Park. Bonifacio, and that's over Castro's head. Burley will stop at second. Moments ago, we threw down a challenge to the crack staff to find the amount of time that Burley's been on the mound, the amount of time that Cubs pitchers have been on the mound. And while they don't have the exact numbers, their rough estimate within 1 or 2 minutes. Cubs pitchers about an hour and 15 minutes. Burley about 30 minutes.
He's getting a little exercise. Mark Burley is running the bases in this inning after his RBI single, and then going to second on Bonifacio's single.
And here is Hanley, a 2-run homer in the 5th. He's popped out and struck out. was the first wave that you and I have seen here as broadcasters. Apparently on opening night.
Yeah, I think there was one. Not opening. I think there was one the other night too.
Really?
Yeah. You may have been reading emails at the time. I
was fixated on the dead bird in right field. That one fouled up. Now, some of you are saying, what the heck are we talking about? Here's Hanley, his last at bat. A Clevelander cool home run, though it was quickly rejected. A little Viste sign around second. And of course, our friends in the Cleveland. The other day, the Marlins were down. A bird plummeted to the ground in right center and met its demise about 30 feet from Giancarlo Stanton. The Marlins rallied to win that ball game. The bird was ceremoniously removed, given a proper send-off. But apparently the rally bird has his own Twitter site and fan club, which I'm sure is in full flight tonight. 7-0 Marlins lead.
Nice to see everything clicking. The offense, Mark Burley's pitching. There's been some good defensive plays.
Hanley steps out. Soto from behind home plate. Counts 1-2. Castillo. Fouled and out of play. Now, last night you talked about the adjustments that Hanley has made under the watchful eye of Eduardo Perez. Hands a little bit lower.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. We mentioned Gabby Sanchez, hands just a tick higher, and for Hanley, a little lower.
Hanley, at times last year, wrapped his hands up around his head. And so now the hands a little bit lower. And the balance is something that Perez has really worked with him on at home plate, trying to get that focus and the balance. There's Eduardo. Here is the 1-2. Hanley left field, got under it. Soriano went back, now comes in and makes the catch. And the inning, a big inning, is over. 3 more for the Fish. Mark Burley, a 4-hit shutout, going to the 7th. First, Donnie Murphy, then Hanley Ramirez. In our Nissan game summary, a lot of Mark Burley out there tonight as well. 7-0, Fish on top, 7th inning. Cubs bring Jeff Baker to the plate. And Burley goes pitch number 80 to open the inning. We'll get Baker, Ian Stewart, and Giovanni Soto. A breaking ball catches the outside corner. Baker leaned out and got an off-speed pitch and pulled it into left field back in the second. This one he shoots foul into the seats first base side.
Yeah, no walks for Mark Burley through the first 6 innings. 5 strikeouts.
Really tried to catch the corner.
Keeps right-handers honest. Every so often he'll run that little cut fastball inside. If he misses, he's going to miss off the plate.
Left that off-speed pitch up, and it's punched into the gap. It's going to the wall. Bonifacio will pick it off that scoreboard screen out in center field. Marlin outfielders, especially the center fielders, were out today with Gary Thurman, who was hitting balls off of everything he could find out in center field. Off the wall, off the curvature that leads to that little corner, off the scoreboard.
Most of the time, when it gets on that fence, it's going to stay close to the wall unless it hits right on the bottom part of the cement. But most of the time, it's going to stay closer to the wall and not come back to you.
Ball in the dirt, and it eats John Buck up. Ian Stewart, the hitter. Baker's now at third base. Marlins center fielders include Emilio Bonifacio, Chris Coghlan. There's a look at Gary Thurman. And Austin Kearns was out there as well. Pulled to first. Gabby has it. Run will score. Stewart is out and gets the RBI as Baker comes across after a double, a wild pitch, and a ground ball out. And here comes Giovanni Soto. A strike to Soto. So tomorrow we're on the air at noon with Marlins Live. It's a center. That ball's well hit. Bonifacio up against that huge backdrop there in center field makes the catch. Ricky Nolasco will throw his first pitch around 12:40. Jeff Samardzija will be pitching for the Cubs. There you go, noon for Marlins Live.
We'll have a test tomorrow on the spelling of Samardzija.
Ground ball wide of third base.
I think you could have a contest on the spelling of Samardzija and Zepchinski, the left-hander with the Cardinals.
Oh, I think Zepchinski's much harder.
Yeah, I agree.
Samardzija. Yeah, when you don't get the first letter of his name right, you know it's hard. I mean, Samardzija starts with an S, and you're already ahead. Burley misses away. Mark Burley, 33, is looking for career win number 162. And of course, a 3-time Gold Glove winner, 3-time Fielding Bible Award winner, Mark Burley. Cubs are on the board, 7th inning stretch, 7-1 Marlins.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have Venus Williams here with some great seats and popcorn.
Popcorn is my favorite.
What do you think of seeing the Marlins? You know, you've made South Florida your home for a while now, since the 90s. What about this place?
It's awesome. Oh my gosh, it's night and day from the old stadium. It's beautiful. I think everyone in South Florida was talking about this for years, so now it's here. I'm glad to be here.
Do you like baseball? Is it a sport you've enjoyed over the years?
I love baseball. You know, outside, I'm a little biased towards tennis, but outside of tennis, I love coming to baseball games.
Well, I think what's amazing is, you know, these pitchers at their best, 95, 98 miles per hour, and yet that's nothing compared to your serve, right?
Well, I think they're very skilled. I'm sure I couldn't throw that fast. I don't even know if I could throw straight at all, so, you know.
What is the fastest you've ever served, you know?
Pretty fast.
115?
129.
129?
Yeah, it's fast.
All right, what's up in the tennis world? You have had an amazing career with 43 titles overall. You've won 3 titles in the Olympics, 2 in doubles, 1 in singles. And do you still have that in your mind, the Olympics?
Absolutely. That's what I get up for every day in this Olympic year, is just play the Olympics and play doubles with Serena, of course. Another great player. I'm glad I'm related to her, but that's what I'm looking forward to. It's around the corner.
Yeah, well, that's going to be fun. And you go maybe for a 3rd doubles title, huh?
That would be amazing. I would probably love to win that title more than any of the other ones, but, you know, it takes work. It's nothing guaranteed, and just one round at a time.
All right, good luck. Good seeing you, and we'll see you at more Marlins games, all right?
Perfect.
All right, the great Venus Williams. Back to you guys.
All right, Craig, thank you. Rodrigo Lopez is in. Joe Mather is in as well. And Lopez wants a set of signs. That's got to be a thrill for Craig. Interview Venus Williams, and the tennis people do say, yeah, she did top out at 129. 0-2.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Between Serena and Venus, how do they compare, and overall in their careers, has one been a little better than the other?
Well, the interesting thing is when they've played each other in the majors, they've had matches that it's really an odd feel. There's the 1-2.
Got to be odd for them.
Oh, certainly. Now, here's the highlight of Craig's night. Watch this.
That Craig, I'm telling you. And Venus with the popcorn. She loves popcorn.
Venus older, so Serena probably has a little more tennis left in the tank. Both have backed off on their schedule and tried to not wear themselves out. It's one of the hard things about tennis is that it's a grueling schedule for both the men and the women.
You get to 30 and it's pretty tough. Yeah, they've made their home up my way for quite a while, up in Palm Beach Gardens.
There's a lot of great tennis up your way. A lot of great tennis in South Florida, that's for sure. 3-2 coming from Rodrigo Lopez. Logan Morrison takes down low. Morrison walks. Giancarlo Stanton is coming up. Gabby Sanchez will follow. I don't know everything about tennis. That's why I have tennis people that I lean on for information.
Well, he's going to get a chance to get a little ice on his knee. And Chris Cogman's going to come in and pinch run and finish out the game.
Marlins' next off day is Monday, a rare off day in New York.
Already trying to make our dinner plans.
Hey, the most exciting thing about the road trip is that the Marlins from Washington, D.C. to New York are taking the train. It's kind of a throwback road trip. Reed Johnson makes the catch. Now, I know, Tommy, you did not play in that era, but that's how ball players used to get around. And that was the train travel. That's obviously before baseball went to the West Coast. And there are teams that still today will travel between Philadelphia and D.C., New York, and some cities by train.
I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll be, we'll have the availability, I believe, of 2 or 3 cars. They'll drop us off right in the city.
Are we supposed to dress up as 1940s type folks? With like a Babe Ruth type look, card games going, just like from The Natural. Roy Hobbs. Line in left center field. It falls for a base hit. And another line drive and another hit for Gabby Sanchez. He's got 3 hits in the ball game. His last 3 ABs, single, RBI double, a run scored, and a single here.
Good, solid approach. He's been on the ball really well tonight. And I'm sure that's not only a good feeling for Gabby, but a good feeling for Eduardo Perez.
Gabby 8 for 20, a 400 average on the homestand. Buck takes in. The Cubs, one of the issues last night was the unavailability of Kerry Wood, who had returned back to Chicago after a cortisone shot in his shoulder. And so for the Cubs bullpen, last night they couldn't get the game to Carlos Marmol. That'll be one of the hurdles, one of the issues for Dale Swain, playing in the National League Central with 6 teams for the final time, with the Astros headed to the American League next year. I'm interested to see how that affects the schedule in terms of, obviously it changes interleague play.
Well, the odd part you and I were talking about the other night is that there'll be an interleague game every night.
Right, but I'm curious to see if it changes the number of times you play opponents in your division and out of your division. High chopper, Stewart charging. It's under his glove. Buck may get an infield hit on that one. And 2 guys you don't see as speed guys, Gabby Sanchez and now John Buck, have infield hits. Both of them to Stewart at third base.
Yeah, you knew this high chopper was going to be trouble if Stewart couldn't get to it on that one hop. Once it hit the ground again, it kind of scooted. No chance for him. Infield base hit. Good job by Starlin Castro, the young shortstop, to get over and then just take a look at Coghlan, who was rounding third.
And with 1 out, it's Donnie Murphy again. Murphy is 2 for 3. A 2-run homer, a single, scored twice. Lopez buries one in the dirt. Traditionally in the National League, Tommy, with the 16 teams, you've played your division opponent 3 times at home and 3 times on the road, 3 different series. And you go to the Central or go to the West once, and they come to your place once. Every so often, you'll double up with an opponent from another division and get 2 series in one spot. That's a rarity, but it happens. American League, at least when I was out west, you would play everyone in your division 3 times, 3 series home, 3 on the road, and then you would play out of your division 3 series. You'd rotate. One year you would be 2 at home, 1 on the road. Next year, 1 at home, 2 on the road.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all breaks down. And over the years, things change. Years ago, well, I love checking out the fish tank. Years ago, you used to take 2 trips to the West Coast.
3-0 to Murphy.
And when you did, you would play San Francisco, and I'm talking National League, you'd play San Francisco, San Diego, and Los Angeles. You'd always have an off day in one of those cities. they'd come back to you in the East, and then you go out and do it again.
3-1 coming. Murphy drives it to center field, and this is going to chase home a run. Coughlin is tagging. Everybody is tagging. Everyone but Buck moves up. John gets back to first. Coughlin scores, and the Marlins stretch the lead back to 7 runs. It's 8-1 now.
Boy, nice night for Donnie Murphy. Got a pitch to drive deep enough to get the sac fly.
3 RBIs for him. Season tickets. You see the Marlins at Marlins Park. A variety of season ticket and mini plan options. Save money off the box office prices. Enjoy all the benefits of being a Marlins season ticket holder. Pick up your plan today, 1-877-MARLINS, or go to marlins.com. Tommy, enjoy your commute tonight. Back home to Palm Beach in your Lexus from Lexus of Pembroke Pines.
I've thoroughly enjoyed all my commutes.
All I got was a hat. You got a car.
I got the nice IS-250. It's a great little ride. And the great folks at Lexus, too.
It's the 0-2. Coming to Burley. Outside corner. So Lopez finishes the inning. The Marlins an 8-1 lead. He pinch ran for Logan Morrison. Our Home Depot doing more on defense. This was early. This was nice. This was Donnie Murphy doing more on defense for Home Depot.
Well, things got started nice defensively. Remember, there were a couple of hard-hit balls in the first inning. Reyes made a nice play. Donnie Murphy on that one. What a night for Donnie Murphy playing in place of Omar Infante, who may sit out a couple of games with that sore groin.
Joe Mather up there right now for the Cubs. Mather came in a defensive replacement. Burley's pitch stroked up the middle, and it's by Reyes and into center. Bonifacio will scoop it up. So Burley working in the 8th. And if you're thinking complete game, he's at 93 pitches. Ryan Webb in the Marlins pen.
Certainly you're at the point of the year. You're not going to think about that. Last complete game for Mark Burley was in 2009.
Want to know to Reed Johnson. Johnson getting the start against the lefty. Probably see David DeJesus back in there against Ricky Nolasco tomorrow. Ricky Nolasco, doing our prep work for the game tomorrow, we've always talked about Nolasco and how he's always been a winner. And the Cubs traded him in the Juan Pierre trade. He was part of 3 players that came to the Marlins. That could be 2. Murphy's turn. Nice pick. And another double play. And Burley gets 2. Reyes starting that double play.
There's an example of how Burley, and we talked about it earlier, will run that cutter in on the hand, so he ties up Johnson just enough. Good turn by Donnie Murphy as Jose Reyes starts it. Kind of off the wrong foot, but Murph got enough on the throw and got a little help at the other end from Gabby.
Darwin Barney now. Ricky Nolasco, in his 5 years in the Cubs organization, 41-18. High pop, left center. We'll see if Burley comes out for the 9th as he's approaching 100 pitches, and he is through 8. Burley has gone 8, and Hanley Ramirez and the rest of the team. This was Ozzie and Burley. You know, it says something.
They've done that a few times, haven't they?
It says something about both men that Burley, as he made his choice in free agency, chose to pitch for Ozzie Guillen, the guy that he'd pitched for a long time in Chicago. Not his entire career, but most of it.
And a well sought after free agent was Mark Burley. And you're right, but he chose to come to South Florida, and a big part of that reason was because of Ozzie Guillen.
Reyes sprays it down the left field line, and he's going to turn first, head for second, think about 3. Soriano in the corner has issues. Reyes with a triple.
Well, it's an exciting play. Jose Reyes with 16 triples last year. Don't need to say much once he snuck this ball by the third baseman. Just watch him run. Second triple of this year.
Bonifacio now, the infield's in an 8-1 game. And Rodrigo Lopez misses in. 13 hits, a season high for the Marlins. Cubs have a run on 6 hits. Marlins have left 7, Cubs have left 4. And Bonifacio's back at it again tonight. He's 2 for 4. Shallow pop-ups. You know, one thing we've seen with the roof open and the panels closed, line drives out to left field and to center field carry pretty well. But you get a high fly ball, once it gets up over the roof line, the wind really seems to catch it.
Yeah, and I think we've seen infielders and outfielders have a little trouble with that too.
So here's Hanley, 2-run homer in the 5th. Of course, Hanley, a 3-run homer in the 8th inning to break a 2-2 tie last night. 5-2 Marlins win. He's homered in 3 straight games now, and the infield's still in. And there's that move by Brian O'Neill on the inside pitch. He sort of takes a drop step, pivoting with that right leg out, and doesn't bring the right arm up.
Keeps his eyes focused, though, on the pitch.
Umpires generally set up on the inside shoulder of a catcher towards the hitter so that they're over the inside corner and project out over the outside corner. And a lot of that has to do with safety. And it's an easier view on that inside corner. You're not blocked by the catcher if you have to look back over for it. .30 pitch coming. That's the spot where umpires are most vulnerable, Tommy, is the catcher shifts outside and the umpire stays on that inside corner. And there's if the pitcher crosses up and is not good at location and comes inside, a foul tip and the umpire's right in the line of fire.
Well, the other thing, if he's over that shoulder on the inside corner, and every once in a while that pitch on the outside corner is a tough pitch for an umpire to see. And of course, remember years ago, the American League umpires had the big balloon chest protector. They'd stand right behind the catcher, but they'd be up a little higher. And so consequently, more high strikes were called in the American League.
That was not a myth. You played in both.
Yeah, and you had the National League umpires that crouch down on either side of the catcher. They get down, see the low pitch a little better. It was always thought, and I think true, that the National League was more of a low strikes. You got the low strike a little more.
Chris Coughlin's first at bat. He came in to run for Logan Morrison. He takes outside. Rodrigo Lopez in a cleanup mode here in his 2nd inning of relief. Marlins got a run against him in the 7th. Coughlin trying to check his swing. DJ Rayburn with that call. Jose Reyes at 3rd, Hanley Ramirez at 1st, 2-1 coming. Coughlin pulls it down the right field line. That ball is foul. That may have scored 2 because Hanley was off and running and halfway to 3rd when it landed. Marlins and Cubs tomorrow, on to Washington, D.C. 3-game weekend series. We told you the pitching matchups are going to be fun to watch. Marlins run into some real good pitching with the Nationals. Hialeah's own Gio Gonzalez on Sunday taking on Josh Johnson.
He's becoming a crowd favorite at Nationals Park.
He's a guy we've always watched the box scores for when he pitched in Oakland. 2-2. Ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Barney, and they'll get the out at second base. Coughlin picks up an RBI. And the Fish pick up run number 9. I'll bet you just like J.D. Martinez coming home, that was special. Gio Gonzalez, the first time he pitches in Marlins Park, will be a real thrill.
Of course, remember, we saw him last year in Oakland.
Yep. Giancarlo Stanton is 1 for 3, a single, walked and scored. A hard ground ball into left field. One of the things about Marlins Park that will change in the next couple of months, the grounds crew feels that the grass will grow a little bit longer as the grass is given a little more time to mature and the weather turns.
And that'll be by design.
And that'll be different from Sun Life Stadium, which was always, if not one of the fastest natural surfaces in the game. Especially being a multi-purpose stadium, they were never able to really get that grass to grow that high, and the ball really scooted there. Gabby pops it fouling out of play. 3 hits for Gabby. RBI double in the 6th. So he's driven in 5 runs.
Well, it's been a nice night. A couple for Reyes, 2 hits for Bonifacio. Hanley with a home run. Stanton 2 hits. Gabby 3. John Buck 1 for 2. Murph 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a home run.
How about Martin Burley, the RBI single?
Absolutely.
One. This is one of those nights, if you're Rodrigo Lopez, this is a thankless task. But if he can finish this inning, possibly he gives the Cubs a better chance to win tomorrow as resting a few arms. Gabby drives that to left field. Back goes Soriano, and at the track, he'll make the catch. Marlins tack on another, and to the 9th we go as the Marlins lead the Cubs. Ryan Webb coming in. But this is nothing but trouble for us. So it's 9-1 in the 9th inning. Miami on top of the Cubs. Hey, Tommy, Follow the Marlins with the MLB.com at Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Marlins.com for details. This would be Ryan Webb. This would be the 9th inning. Mark Burley went the first 8, and boy, was he terrific.
Yeah, he was. And you were mentioning what Rodrigo Lopez is doing to help their bullpen. Mark Burley just helped his bullpen by going 8 innings. And now Ryan Webb will get 1 inning. But you get a starting pitcher and take it back to last night. JJ with 7 and Burley with 8. You put together some starts like that, all of a sudden that bullpen gets some strength, and they're going to be better for it.
Burley 8 innings, 6 hits, a run, no walks, 5 strikeouts. His ERA is down to 2.66, and he's certainly front and center for win number 1 on the season as Webb misses down low.
An early season high for runs and hits. Blake DeWitt, the hitter.
So there's been a Blake DeWitt sighting here at Marlins Park.
Well, Dale Swaim can get his utility infielder, left-handed bat of Blake DeWitt, an AB.
DeWitt, a one-time top prospect coming up in the Dodgers organization. High fly ball that Stanton has. So DeWitt, a fly ball out. And now Soriano. So while Burley was outstanding, 8 innings, 6 hits, a run, Matt Garza, 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs. Chopper to third. Hanley across the diamond in time. Coming up on Marlins Live, Craig Minervini and Jeff Conine. Hanley stays hot. Extra work for Donnie Murphy. Preview of tomorrow's game. We'll see if Jeff Conine has stopped sweating from the pregame show. Both
I think he's doing better out there.
Both there he is. Got the thumbs up.
He's doing better.
Yeah, okay. Very nice.
We kid and kibitz because we love.
Want to know to Jeff Baker. Baker, a couple of hits. Double, single. He had the best approach against Burley. Stayed back, he waited. Off-speed stuff, he was able to get the good part of the bat on it.
Also a good opportunity, and he's making the most of it for Ryan Webb to come in and get an inning. He's made some good pitches.
We've got breaking ball, and it counts 1 and 2, and the Fish are a strike away. One, two. Got him. Breaking ball. Game over. Marlins win it 9-1. A 5-2 win in the first game of the series. They follow it up tonight with an outstanding start from Mark Burley. Another home run from Hanley Ramirez. A big fly from Donnie Murphy. And the Marlins, after stumbling out of the gate, have pulled even at 500, are now 6-6. We will wrap it up from Marlins Park. A 9-1 win for the Marlins.